What is going on YouTube? Hayden here, and in today's episode, we are going to be looking at XRP, Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, VONG, which is the Russell 1000 and the S&P 500, because we're in a very interesting predicament. Like, markets are getting liquidated. Cryptocurrency is falling at a substantial rate. You can see Bitcoin is nearly approaching breaking through $90,000, although I do believe this is at the lowest point. Markets are getting liquidated, guys. Super weird, but I can't say I'm not surprised, though, because as I've said earlier, as we get closer to the end of the year, I thought this would happen next year, and it still could. I think we are done with our bullish market here. We're going to see correction, and we're entering our bear market, which would inevitably set us up for a bearish market, and then a crypto winter, and then eventually a bull season come, I know this is going to be crazy, 2029. Now, obviously, there's a lot of time in between the end of 2025 and early 2029. So there are lots of opportunities still. But if things go according to plan, we may have one last final hoorah send off for the end of the year, one last Christmas miracle. And then I think it's downhill from there. So with all that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's get right into today's episode. So guys, as you can see, yesterday I made a video basically saying, is this the bottom for cryptocurrency, which we keep falling to, but are still well within our technical indicators and these technical patterns here as we start to, correct lower and lower and lower and lower, and inevitably getting to a point where I think there is a small chance we could find a bottom very soon. And that could send us off to the upside here. Looking at the current coin market cap, we have officially entered the extreme fear category. Remember, guys, if there was ever an opportunity to be buying into cryptocurrency, it's obviously to be doing so when we are in the extreme fear category, then in the extreme greed category. Kind of makes sense, because where we're getting to is a position where only up is possible. Like, the only way to move is to the upside here. And I think it's going to happen sooner than you guys think. That there is still this one last grace period, one last chance of bull market before we are officially in a bear market. I don't want to say we're in one just yet. We're still within technical indicators that are inevitably bullish, which I'll show you in a second. But with us being in extreme fear, we haven't been in extreme fear in a very long time. Last time we were here was back in March of 2025. And look what we did after that. Here's what you guys really have to take advantage of. We exploded. That's what you guys really have to consider. We went from bear market to bull market very quickly, very fast. And you can see here, we're entering it right now. So I don't think we're going to be in this period for much longer. And then we're probably going to reverse out. Crypto across the week, we're down about 3 to 5% today, but across the week, double digits. Some cryptos even down 17, almost 18%. Cardano, Chainlink, BNB, Solana. Like, there's going to be opportunity to take advantage of this stuff, to buy in, and it might be today, if not very, very, very soon. And I'm going to show you guys all of this right now. So diving into the markets here, you can see we'll start with XRP here. Notice how none of this comes as a surprise, because for a very long time, and I'll jump to the weekly, we have been tracking an enormous bull flag. If anything, there's a chance we could actually go down and retest moving average, and that could send us up. But coming down to that point is not really a surprise. We're actually coming down to a support where when we hit it last, we exploded back in June of 2025. So take a peek at this. Notice how you can see in previous times on XRP, we rallied up, descending fractal, bullish breakout. But we hit pretty much support. Rally up, consolidate, back down in this bull flag here, bullish breakout. Where did we go? Price floor in green. Where are we right now? Similar movement. I do think we have a low point. If we approach $2, that's the entry point. That's pretty much $1.99. That is the grace point, the entry point to take advantage of this market, in my opinion. Because if anything, with this consolidation, with the time that has passed here, it has allowed the moving average to greatly play catch up with XRP to inevitably create a floor where we haven't actually hit this support in nearly 2 years. Or sorry, a year. No. Yeah. In nearly a year. November of 2024 was the last time we saw moving average retest. So it's been nearly a year. And we're coming back down to probably this month, which is insane. So with us hitting that floor here, there's a very good chance we can use this to rally up. Just seeing in the past if we've done something similar. We're actually trading below it for a very long time, but you can see in the past here, typically when we come back down to retest floor after a major crash, we hit moving average and that sends us back up. And honestly, I'm expecting or hopefully anticipating, I know there's some hope in there, the same thing to happen. One last parabolic send-off where we hit moving average, we go down to $2. This is the entry point, not up here, but right here. If we come into contact with this, I suspect to see a send-off take place. I suspect to see us rebound and rally. One last hoorah, but it's not going to happen until we get down to this moving average. And then we could see a break. And if you play it conservatively here, this could be easily, it could easily be an 80% rally. It would be insane. It really, 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 really would be an insane run. So pay attention to it. We're still well within our descending fractal. Still a huge opportunity. We're still trending sideways. So we'll probably hit it. And then at some point, if we come back up to here and breach through that downtrend, that would be the entry point for a bullish rally. That would be it. So this is why I don't think we're bearish just yet. If we broke through this and through moving average, okay, then it's confirmed. Bear market is here, bear market territory, and we're going to have a very long bearish next couple of years. However, we haven't done that yet. There's still plenty of potential and plenty of hope. All this is doing is allowing us to build up pressure, build up steam, and then, sell off the weekends and boom, one last hoorah. As we get closer to moving average, this is a very good sign. As we approach $2, your bottom buy-in might be closer to $1.88, but probably by the time we get there, we'll probably be looking at closer to $2, $1.99. That would be the lowest entry point. And then eventually maybe we breach 218 and then expect to see that bull market, that bullish rally, that explosion to the upside here that I strongly believe we have one last chance of doing, because that could send us into, honestly, the first quarter of 2026, much earlier than I anticipated here. And then we see a correction the rest of the year. That's my thought, my theory, or this is it, and we're going to be, heading lower. It all depends on how we react with this level here. But we'll do all these trades on BYDFI, the #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange I like to use here on the channel. Buy long, sell short, leverage trade, create stop losses, take profits. Every single thing you'd want on an exchange is offered on BYDFI, which is so awesome. We've been using them for nearly, if not over 5 years now, I think going on 5 years, and they've been nothing but the best, which is why I always recommend them. Link down in the description. You can get free cryptocurrency. They have, market orders. They have trades, spot trading, leverage tokens, convert. They got futures, USDM. They have a demo trading account, copy trading, trading bots, events, free bonus cryptocurrency, trailing stop losses, like everything you possibly want on an exchange is offered on BYDFI, which is why they're my favorite. And when we do see that entry point, we're going to make that trade, and it's going to be very easy, very quick, and I'm not surprised that it's going to happen at some point very, very, very soon. So pay very close attention. They have XRP USDC, which they just added, which is cool. They have USDT. They have USD. I mean, they are constantly innovating and upgrading this website, which is why I like using them so much. You can very obviously see that very large descending fractal. I mean, if I jump to the weekly, they even have weekly. I mean, everything you'd want is offered on here. You can see this very obvious downtrend and the very obvious support. I mean, look at this. Look at this thing. It don't get any more freaking obvious than this. And once we nail that support, once we hit that floor, I think we're going to be exploding. Truly, I think we're going to have one last hoorah. And you can see we're getting very close to it. Once we retest it, I think it's going to be that send-off that we're all looking for. Let me draw it in for you guys. Essentially, I can see us coming back down to here, hitting the same support that we've done in the past here, and exploding to the upside. Now, if we close below here, well, then it's game over. Then we're seeing a huge, short opportunity. So everything kind of comes down to this. It really, really, really does. It's something that we've retested in the past, and we're coming back to it again. And this time it's not like immediate. We've had tons of consolidation, sending us into oversold territory. The breakout could be exponential. Otherwise, looking at Solana, again, still well within a descending fractal, still has potential for one last break. Ethereum, same exact thing, well within its descending fractal, descending broadening wedge. One last chance for a possible break to the upside here, because we are still trading well within our technical indicators. Nothing is showing signs of bearish entry or bearish markets here. All this consolidation is giving us prime opportunities to buy in for one last breakout that could come. Same thing goes with Bitcoin here, just extending this. You can clearly see the descending fractal sending us lower and lower and lower. We're actually finally retesting a support that we've used for a very long time. If I jump to the weekly, you can see clear as day this beautiful yellow line I drew, and now we're retesting it again right at moving average here. So again, huge opportunity for one last pump. Very big opportunity. Look, like if there was ever a time to buy in, why would you buy in when we're this extended? Why not buy in here? Again, why buy in when we're overextended when you can buy in right here? Why buy in when we're this overextended when you can buy in right here? So it makes complete sense why you'd be a fool to buy in at the top when you can buy in at the lowest point, which is what we're currently retesting right now. This is that one last chance and that one last risk. Otherwise, Vong hitting support, hopefully rebounding off that. Same thing with the S&P 500. We're using that moving average that we haven't tested in a very long time, ever since May of 2025. But with that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.